The Puck Portfolio with Andy MacNeil.
Hey, welcome to the Puck Portfolio. I'm your host, Andy MacNeil, here on weekdays to provide NHL projections, picks, betting advice, and strategies to help you make informed bets throughout the NHL season. This show is sponsored by NorthStar Bets, presented by CanadaSportsBetting.ca. You can check out NorthStar Bets via the link in the description below. They're available across Canada, and they offer some great odds on on the next day's NHL games, which we'll talk about in a little bit. We got some great bets down for Thursday's NHL slate already on the Wednesday show. Have a one or two more that I'll add on today's show. But yeah, it was a strong, efficient show yesterday. We got some good picks down. We've got the Ottawa Senators at a great price now, which is long gone. I'm just going to pull up my bets here from yesterday. Let's see now. All right, the Ottawa Senators, that was a half unit play, plus 132. We've currently got 4.5% line value on that one. We've got the Pittsburgh Penguins at plus 148. We've got 3.5% line value on that one, and a little over 3% line value on the Flyers at minus 167. They're now minus 192 at NorthStar Bets. So looking good so far. Hopefully, it will convert to some wins tonight. That would be great. But yeah, Jake, what did you think? I'm guessing you didn't tune into the two games that were on the NHL slate last night, especially considering one was a late one for people in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, I didn't check out the Leafs, so they got the win, but I didn't check out much hockey last night. I actually watched the show Justified. I don't know if you've ever watched the show Justified. It's been kind of on my list for a while. So I watched most of the first season. Pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, I think I might continue with it, but no hockey watching for me last night.
That's the one with Timothy. I can't pronounce his last name. That guy.
Oliphant, yeah.
Oliphant,
yeah, he just kind of shoots everybody, and people love it. And yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think I watched most of the first season. It was pretty good. A friend put me onto it. He loved the show. I didn't take to it as much, but it was all right.
Yeah, I mean, it also stars Walton Goggins, who I love, and I think the producers of the show eventually realized that like Walton Goggins and Timothy Oliphant kind of playing off each other was what works. So you can see in the first season a lot more Goggins, and I think for future seasons that's going to be the case as well.
Yeah, insight in the chat. Austin Matthews with his 30th goal and a game winner. Yeah, he's been pretty clutch, and he makes it look easy. I mean, this guy can just score from pretty much anywhere. Got a wicked shot. Odds-on favorite to win to rock Richard. Sorry, most goals in the NHL. Austin Matthews, currently minus money, I believe. I'm going to pull up NorthStar Bets odds. We will get into a little bit of futures talk, or not futures, but awards futures talk in a little bit. But yeah, let's talk about Matthews for a minute just to see where he's at here. So we've got the Maurice Rocket Richard Trophy. Austin Matthews at NorthStar Bets currently is a minus 155 favorite. David Pastrnak next at plus 550. And we've got Nikita Kucherov at plus 650 and Connor McDavid at 10-1. Brock Besser in there at 14-1. They are the five top dogs in terms of the Maurice Rocket Richard Trophy odds. Yeah, I mean, Kucherov, he's right there. He's, I believe, 4 goals behind Matthews currently. So maybe a little bit too big of a price there. But the way Matthews has been scoring, I mean, look out. He looks like the guy that's going to take it home this season for sure. But we'll get back to the awards talk in a little bit. But yeah, so very happy. Look, we're gonna not have a lot of picks to add today because it's just that's the way it is. If you want somebody that's gonna just tell you to bet games just for the sake of it, you're in the wrong place. We're here to get value. That's what we've been doing and trying to do all season long, and we've done that so far. So we've got 3 bets already, and I'm going to look for a fourth here because on Wednesday's show, a little while after Wednesday's show, we learned that William Karlsson is out for the Vegas Golden Knights. And since then, there's been a move towards the Florida Panthers. Naturally, the Panthers are a minus 115 favorite at NorthStar Bets currently, and that's pretty much what they are across the board. Consensus minus 120 at some shops, even minus 125. So we're seeing the Vegas Golden Knights get up as high as plus 105 in some spots. Some exchanges have plus 108. So kind of gives you an idea of where the true price is, at least according to the market as a whole. But I think that the Vegas Golden Knights, and I like the Florida Panthers a lot, but I still think the Vegas Golden Knights, this is closer to a coin flip game, maybe than the market is suggesting, according to my model, which still has Vegas as a minus 105 favorite. So I'm going to put down a half a unit on the Vegas Golden Knights app. Let me just search out here and see what is available. So minus 104 at NorthStar Bets. I can't take that. A 1 cent edge is not enough to justify a play. I don't bet my stuff that thin. I leave a little bit of room. So I'm going to look around and see if there is some even money. Yeah, there's lots of even money around, and lots that you can take. So shop around, find the even money, and add the Vegas Golden Knights. If you want a tail, you can add the Vegas Golden Knights for half a unit to beat the Florida Panthers, half a unit to win a half a unit. Yeah, not super exciting, but now we've got 4 bets for Thursday, and hopefully, um, Vegas will move our way. Would hate to get the worst of that one, but I can't see Florida becoming an even bigger favorite. I would be pretty surprised if that happens. So let's do a little bit of award talk, and then we will circle back to the games as some information comes out. I know we're waiting for some goaltending confirmations. We could see some stuff shift around. So let's talk about the NHL awards. So ESPN's Greg Wyshynski recently put out his monthly, I guess, or yeah, it's around every month that it comes out. Once a month, he puts out the NHL Awards Watch. I believe it's the third time that he did it this season, unless he did one in the preseason. I don't think he did, but I believe he's done 3 so far this season. So what Greg does is he reaches out to all of the NHL writers, the people in the Professional Hockey Writers Association that have a vote on the NHL awards. So every award is voted on by the Professional Hockey Writers Association, except for the Vezina, which is voted on by the 32 NHL general managers, and the Jack Adams is voted on by the Broadcasters Association. So the writers, they vote on everything from the Calder Trophy to the Hart Trophy to the Norris Trophy, and but the GMs have the Vezina and the broadcasters have the Jack Adams. So the markets that are currently available at NorthStar Bets, we've got on top of team futures, of course, we've got the Calder Trophy. Connor Bedard, a minus 500 favorite, which is not surprising considering he's been, basically the unanimous pick for the last little bit. Don't see him falling out of this race unless there is an injury. The Hart Trophy, uh, Connor McDavid really, should be no surprise at this point. He's been the biggest reason for the Oilers' resurgence. Of course, he started the season injured. He is plus 295 to win the Hart Trophy. But if you look at Greg Wyshynski's Awards Watch article, Nathan MacKinnon is the current first place, the most popular first place vote right now. So MacKinnon, he's been on a tear. He had a 19-game point streak in which he put up well over 30 points, I believe, and that ended on December 29th. So there's a bit of recency bias here, and I think we've seen several examples. I mean, it's a great piece of content. Don't get me wrong; it's very insightful. This is some great information for finding some value in the betting market, but I think it does illustrate just how fickle the voters are, because I mean, McKinnon, the recent surge he's had. Yeah, okay, that's propelled him um, up to the top of the, as the most popular first place vote for the Hart Trophy. But where are we going to be at in a month, right? Actually, sorry, he is not the first place vote. Or no, yes, he is. Sorry, is he? Oh no, I think I clicked on the wrong. Yeah, I clicked on the December 4th one. So Nikita Kucherov was was the favorite on December 4th. Um, but that has changed. So I'm just looking for the updated one here. Damn, this is why Google search has become like unusable. Why is it showing me from 2 years ago? All right, I'm gonna find this. I'm sorry. This is why is this so? Oh my god. You know what? Forget it. I'm not gonna bring it up because this is a nightmare trying to just. Why wouldn't Google News give me the most recent article? It's giving me four articles that are not the most recent one. Maybe I can find Greg on Twitter and just find his article there. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, I think this article does illustrate just how much just how much how fickle the voters are. I mean, Jordan Stahl. So I put a bet down. Some of you probably did too. In Greg's first awards watch article, Jordan Stahl was the candidate, the top candidate for the Selke Trophy. Of course, Nico Hischier had just gone down. He was 18-1 at the time, which I mean, regardless of what has happened since, it was a good bet considering he was the most popular first place vote for the Selke Trophy. He's not even a finalist now. He's not even on anybody's radar, even though he was a finalist last month in the second most recent awards watch article, which to me is it's a crazy drop off. So Alexander Barkov, no surprise. I think he should be the favorite. I thought he should be the favorite 2 months ago, and I was dismissed by several people that I talked to about that, who probably are championing him now as the Selke Trophy favorite. But yeah, it's a pretty fickle market. There is some insight to be gained from this for sure. But like Noah Dobson, he's currently the second most popular vote behind Quinn Hughes for the Norris Trophy. But doesn't that seem a little bit crazy? Okay, Dobson, he doesn't have anywhere close to the best odds. Let me see here. Norris Trophy. He has the fourth best odds, but we're talking about 25-1 odds. Cale Makar is the favorite at plus 105. He's actually got the third most first place votes currently, according to ESPN's poll. And Quinn Hughes has the most first place votes. He's the second place in terms of the odds right now at plus 160 at NorthStar Bets. So yeah, well, I don't know. Noah Dobson, maybe an attractive bet at 25-1, but just with how fickle, like, is he really going to be a finalist come the end of the season? Is Makar not going to probably overtake him? And do these writers know? I mean, they know that they're not actually voting for the award right now. So it's a lot easier to make an off the wall pick and say, hey, this guy should be in the Norris Trophy race right now. And to sort of elevate him into the conversation. But that doesn't mean that they're going to vote for him at the end of the season, right? I mean, because that's when this is an anonymous poll, of course. So come the end of the season when their name actually has to be attached to the pick that they make for the Norris Trophy, for the Hart Trophy, for the Calder Trophy, a lot of people are going to check it out at the end and just go with the safe picks. So I think that's something to consider there when looking at this. Allen versus Levi confirmed. Should be a fun one. Ned confirmed in net for Pittsburgh. I mean, I don't hate that. He's been okay this season. Jari has, I don't know. He's been up and down. Let's pull up Evolving Hockey's year to date goaltending statistics just to see where we're what we're looking at here. Where are these guys at year to date? So Jari, I mean, he's been good, but Nedeljkovic has been, close behind. And as of late, Jari has been super average over the last month. So, I mean, that's kind of what I was talking about. He's, you know, had a really strong start, but over the last 7, 8 games, he's been pretty average. Ned's actually been pretty good. So I don't hate that for my Pittsburgh play at all. I would have hate it if I had woken up and taken Pittsburgh today at plus 128 or plus 130. We got plus 148 plus 135, etc. On Wednesday's show. So we're doing pretty good. Hopefully that one doesn't shift too much in Boston's direction. I mean, the Bruins have been bad. They've been, they haven't been good. They've been saved by their goaltending. They've really poor underlying metrics right now. They're, lumped in with some really bad teams. Pittsburgh plus 125 at some of these market makers. I don't foresee a big shift. Um, I don't foresee a big shift towards the Bruins by any means. I think that's totally fine for our bet. And Connor in the chat saying that Tara's Saf confirmed for Columbus. Thought it was going to be Merzlikins, so I'm happy about that. And I don't think Columbus Blue Jackets backers necessarily will be happy about that one. So yeah. Another question here. Was Morrissey a finalist last year? He was like the clear favorite for the Norris midseason. Yeah, that's a great point, Connor. I do not think he was a finalist. I'm going to double check about that right now. Norris Trophy finalist 2023. Um, I don't even think he. I don't even think he. No, it was Carlson Fox. Obviously, Carlson won it, and Kale McCarr. Morrissey by the end of the season, I mean, I think people were really valuing his offensive production, of course, but that sort of got blown out of the water when Carlson did what he did, right? So yeah, kind of got lost in the shuffle. I thought Morrissey was. At one point, I mean, he was a good bet because his odds were pretty long. But once again, I mean, you don't know what's hyperbole and what's not, right? I mean, these guys are just maybe just trying to give Greg some spicy takes for his article. You don't know. And it's all anonymous. There's no accountability. It's a great piece of insight, like I said, and I read it every time it comes out. But I mean, when you read it month to month, you kind of see how fickle some of the voters are. And yeah, I've always liked the Vezina Trophy market for the simple reason that I don't think that the NHL general managers are putting a whole lot of thought into their picks, right? It's the end of the season. They're probably I know for a fact that some of them even delegate it, hand it to one of their staffers and say, that they trust, I guess, to make some competent picks and say, hey, pick the 3 top goaltenders, make my picks for the Vezina. That absolutely happens. And so you've got some, I think there that the Vezina Trophy market, when you're handicapping it, you can really kind of put more stock into the traditional statistics. Not to say that these people aren't looking at things like goals saved above expected, but save percentage and goals against average, while not the best goaltending statistics in 2024, are still valued by people in hockey, and I don't think they are. I don't think they are, disregarded like the analytics community would maybe have you think. But right now, Thatcher Demko, he's leading the polls. He's the top guy as far as the first place votes for the Vezina Trophy goes. But yeah, plus 350 odds. I don't know. Hellebuck right there, plus 375 odds. He's in third place right now, according to the poll. And Aiden Hill, he's actually got the second. This is one that could be just some people trying to give a spicy take. But Aiden Hill, he's had a really good season. He's missed some time, which I think could hurt him. But he's actually received the second most first place votes in the poll, the most recent poll. So that one though at 13-1. I mean, I talked to people early in the season. I'd say before the 10-game mark. That that talked about Hill as a Vezina Trophy bet at 50-1 and 40-1 and prices like that. So knowing that and then seeing the 13-1, I don't know if I could jump on board at this point. Especially given that he's missed time and Thatcher Demko has Certainly not. He's been an Iron Man for the Canucks this season, and things keep going well for him. So yeah, I don't know the awards. I mean, I really wish I had spent more time on it. At least once a month. Been wrapped up with trying to give out good projections every day and futures. I mean, are people tuning in for futures? No, they're tuning in for the daily money line picks, etc. But I should have spent a little bit more time because at this point in the season, yeah, I mean the favorites have been established. There might be a little bit of value here and there, but yeah, it's a tough one. I don't agree with McKinnon being the top guy right now. So and neither do the sports books. Um, Jack Hughes at one point, I think, was the favorite, but that has changed. Yeah, Quinn Hughes still getting some first place votes as a Hart Trophy winner, but I mean, the sports books aren't really too worried about that one, I don't think, because he's still 20-1 at NorthStar Bets. Not sure what he is at other sports books, but if there was, I think if people were buying into Quinn Hughes as a Hart Trophy candidate for real, then he would be priced much shorter. So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Jake, you got any spicy awards takes?
No, not really. I mean, I think McKinnon's an interesting one because if he can maintain a pace even similar to what he's had in the last little while, then he's going to push Connor McDavid. And I think awards voters like voting for the non-obvious
Yeah, because there's
pick.
voter fatigue, right?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure.
I
Like
think
they don't.
I think McKinnon
If
becomes sexy in that way because people just don't want to vote for McDavid every time.
Yeah, and that's it, right? I mean, I think if McDavid makes it easy and just blows the league away like he did last season, then yeah, there's no voter fatigue because people are just, it's hey, we know what we got to do. We've except that one guy who didn't even have McDavid on his ballot. Or no, that was in 21-22 actually. The guy that didn't have McDavid or Matthews, the guys that finished 1 and 2 uh on his ballot. There was only one of them too. Um, when was the last time a defender won the Hart and the Norris? Well, I mean, did Chris Pronger win both?
Yeah,
He won the
a quick search produces Chris Pronger in the year 2000.
Yeah, he won both, right?
Correct, yeah.
I think he might have won a third award that year too, I want to say, but definitely wasn't the Lady Bing. Um, but yeah, no, Pronger, I mean, he's the last guy to do it. Yeah, he was a force. I mean, he pretty much carried the Blues to the final, or did they go to the? I think they only made it to the Western Conference final that season, didn't they? Um, because they would have lost to the Stars, and then the Stars went on to win the Stanley Cup. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, people. Somebody in the comments yesterday, I always check the comments after the video, or at least I try to. Um, and I saw somebody in the comments yesterday was asking, "Who are the halves?" and I'm thinking, like, does my accent sound like halves when I say abs, or what? But
I
yeah,
missed that. That's funny. I remember thinking a little while ago, like, is there any other team in pro sports that goes by their nickname? So, like, officially, when you watch like the Habs on TSN or Habs or whatever, it's Habs everywhere. They don't say Canadians. So I was trying to come up with a
yeah.
team that's like uses their nickname more than their actual name.
Hey, a question. I've always wondered, and I guess I could have Googled this, but when you probably know his name, but when the guy says "c'est la boue," when is that like it's a goal?
Yeah, it's like shoots and scores.
Okay, that's what I
Like
thought. Yeah,
shoots and a goal. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I was yelling that a lot on Tuesday, uh, at least 4 times. "C'est
at
la
least at
boue!"
least.
Yeah. I hated that phrase when I was a kid. Absolutely hated hearing it. But when I bet on the Habs, that's what comes out of my mouth. Because I know, I just know it means it's something good.
Someone's excited somewhere.
Yeah, somebody's excited that the Habs score, so it's probably the right thing to say when they score. Yeah. Anything else? Devils beat the Stars for that cup. Yeah, that's right. 99, 2000. I was thinking 99. At one point in my life, I could name, without fail, name every Stanley Cup champion all the way back to like 30 years before I was born. So I think that knowledge is um dissipated. I don't know. So 99, so 2000 it was the 2000 it was the Devils, 99 was the Stars, 98, 97 was the Red Wings, 96 was the Avs, 95 was the Devils, 94 was the Rangers, 93 was the Canadians, 92 was the Penguins, 91, no, was it 91? Yeah, the Penguins win in back to back? Yeah, the Penguins won in no, the Oilers won in 91. The Penguins won in 90 and 92. Am I right?
I'm horrible with that stuff, so I'm gonna leave it up to you in the chat to determine. But that all sounds right to me.
Just think. I mean, I was too young to remember most of it, but Boston, man. Bruins fans do like people say like, "Oh, like you guys, what do you guys have to complain about? Like you're so hard done by. You've been to, three Stanley Cup finals in, the last decade or whatever, right? Like, but I mean, they also were the punching bag for the late 80s 90s Oilers and the early 90s Penguins, right? So they had their fair share of defeats over the last 40 years. And I mean, if you're somebody like my dad who's been following along all the time, one Stanley Cup and a couple of trips to the finals in the 2000s is not enough to make up for getting absolutely railroaded in the early 90s and late 80s. So
I'm sure the current generation kind of associates Boston teams with championships and excellence and stuff like that. But like in the 80s and
they were
90s,
losers, man.
they were
Yeah,
all
like
losers. The Patriots, the Red Sox, the
yeah,
Celtics, the
that's the
Bruins,
thing.
they
And
were all awful.
dude, I'm a Boston sports fan, not as much anymore, right? Like I mean, but I grew up a Boston sports fan. My dad cheered for the Red Sox and like the Bruins, predominantly the Bruins, obviously. But my uncle was a big Celtics fan. Really, he was a basketball coach, loved the Celtics, Larry Bird Celtics. And he also cheered for the Patriots. So like I mean, I grew up watching Patriots games with my uncle and my dad well before the Tom Brady era. It just worked out when I was about 12 years old is when they won that first Super Bowl with Brady. And obviously you're gonna jump on the bandwagon when that happens. But yeah, like the Bruins, I mean, all we did was lose to Montreal during my childhood and teenage years. And like the holes in my bedroom wall at my parents' house that are probably still covered up by posters prove it. How many holes did you punch in your wall over the Bruins when you were a kid, Jake? I'm gonna guess zero.
Yeah, zero. It was I was punching walls out of pure joy because yeah, repeatedly beating the Bruins when like down by 3 games and stuff like that was kind of
Well,
a routine for us.
yeah, I mean, and Pens after the Oilers. Yeah, that's so both. Yeah, okay. Pens did go back to back. That's what I thought. Oilers 89 and 9. No, Oilers didn't win 89 and 90 because the Flames won in 89. The Oilers won in 84, 85, 80, or no, yeah, 85, 86, 87, right? And then no. So this is bad. This is bad television. Me counting on my fingers here. But the Oilers won three straight, and then the Flames won, right? Because the Habs, so the Oilers would have won. No, because Montreal won in '86, right? Was it '86 that they won? You got to know this one, Jake. Because it was yeah. Okay, we're looking this up. We got to settle it. All right, we don't need to talk about the 2000s. That's not interesting. We know all that. So yeah, the Oilers were 84, 85. Montreal broke the streak in 86 and won the cup. And then the Oilers won in 87, 88. So those were their first four. And then the Flames won in 89, the Lanny McDonald Flames. I always remember that one just because of the 89 kind of stands out. And then the Edmonton Oilers won again in 90. That was post Gretzky after he had already gone to LA. And then the Pittsburgh Penguins went back in 91 and 92. But yeah. So I think one of those was against Chicago. I think the Bruins lost to them in both Eastern Conference Finals though in 91 and 92. Cuz I know we swept the Habs in 92. Um yeah, Montreal 93. That's an easy one because it's the last time Canada won the cup. Which doesn't bother me in the least. Maybe I'm not Canadian. I hate the World Juniors. I don't care if the cup ever comes back to Canada. God, disown me, if you want.
I don't know. I'm curious now. I don't know if the record's been beaten, but it was also the most overtime wins in a playoff run, I think. I don't know if that's been beaten since then, since 93.
Hater. I don't hate the World Juniors. That was sarcasm. The World Juniors, I hate the level of importance that's placed on it by grown ass men that think that this is, it means anything. It doesn't mean it. It's just a tournament. It's just a showcase tournament for young stars. It doesn't mean anything. And TSN wants you to think that it's important because it matters to them. They need it to be important. But anyway, do I ever take plus 1.5 Leafs 67? Yeah, that's an easy one too. We all know that one. Even Jake knows that one.
Oh yeah, I know.
Do you ever take plus 1.5? So the plus 1.5 puck line on both sides. No. That is you wouldn't be able to do that unless you got down on one side and the line moves so much that the odds were enough to have an arbitrage opportunity where you could bet both sides. But yeah, no, I don't do that. I think there is some value in betting the plus 1.5. In fact, I think there's more value looking at the plus 1.5 side than there is the minus 1.5 side when it comes to the puck line. As a general rule, but a lot of the time it's pretty tough to justify laying that price. And a lot of the time, if I do have an edge on the plus 1.5 puck line, I've also got an edge or probably a bigger edge on the underdog money line. And I'm a lot more comfortable taking those underdog plays. If you watch the show on Wednesday, we went over the betting record. Hitting bets had a 54% clip this season. Average odds though 48% plus 109. So we shouldn't be winning. We should only be winning about 48% of our bets according to the odds that we have bet those games at. But we've actually been winning 54% of the time. I'm totally comfortable taking underdogs. A lot of big underdogs in there, and a lot have worked out. But no, don't take the plus 105 very often. So. Jake, you mind? We can throw up the projections if you don't mind. Yeah. So let's see if anything moved around here. Just quickly refresh. Do a little refresh of the board in front of me. Dallas. How much did that move? I've got the Stars as minus 112 favorites. Did something happen here? Are we missing somebody in the Colorado lineup that I was not aware of? Or did something just Ryan Johansson? He's day to day with an illness. Had that accounted for. I am just probably too low on Dallas, at least according to the market, because seems to be the case. I mean, I played Montreal against the Stars the other night after the very next game after Dallas had beat Chicago, a team that a lot of people would say is right in, Montreal's kind of range or in their tier. They beat Chicago 8-1. And so you'd have to be down on the Stars to play the Canadians a night after they beat the Chicago Blackhawks 8-1. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to add anything else. I really don't. I think, there's, I've got 3 great bets locked in from Wednesday's show. If you didn't watch Wednesday's show and you're wondering, hell, this guy, he's only given out 1 pick on a 13-game NHL slate. Well, look, I'm trying to look for value. I don't like making bets if I don't think I have an advantage over the bookmaker in which I'm making the bet at. And I did that yesterday. I got three great numbers. So now we've got an advantage over the sports book. Hopefully that'll be the case with the Vegas Golden Knights here, but I think this one will probably stay relatively close to where it's at now. You can't bet the Flyer. You could still, I guess, lay the juice on the Flyers if you really wanted to, but we've got a great price yesterday. Minus 167. Some people probably in the low minus 180s, but minus 192, kind of a tough price to lay, even though the model thinks it is a plus EV price. The Pittsburgh Penguins, they're plus 128 now. We got plus 148, 20 cents better than you can get right now. And of course, the Ottawa Senators at plus 132. They are plus 110 now. So 22 cents better than you can get at this point. So very happy with that. Yeah, that pretty much does it for Thursday's show. I'm not going to look ahead to Friday today because I'm not interested in anything. I took a glance at the three games that we've got on Friday's schedule, and there's nothing of note there. At least comparing those lines to what I've got on the model says right now. And so I'm not going to make any early bets for Friday. We'll see how things go. There's just three games, like I said, on Friday. So we'll be looking ahead to Saturday's NHL, 12 games on Saturday. We will provide projections, picks, and all that on Friday's episode of the Puck Portfolio. It'll be a bigger show. Of course, we'll be looking ahead pretty earlier than anybody else. So if you haven't already, please like this video. Helps out a lot. Please subscribe to the Canada Sports Betting YouTube channel. That helps out a lot, of course. And check out NorthStar Bets, our great sponsor, via the link in the description below. Insight. Hit the like button on the way out, guys. Not hard, effortless, I would say. So if you can watch the video, you can hit the like button. God damn it! But anyway, thanks for joining the show. Sorry that I haven't, couldn't find anything else really outside of a small play on the Vegas Golden Knights. But hopefully you had a little bit of fun with the banter today, and hopefully you'll tune in on Friday because we will be looking ahead to Saturday's NHL odds, and I know we'll find some juicy bets, some spicy plays for Saturday. That does it for today's episode of the Puck Portfolio. Good luck with your bets tonight.